because we have breaking San Diego Padres news. Huge news.
Huge news.
Kevin Acee, and I believe we're getting a statement from the San Diego Padres as well. If you've been following along, I don't know if it's going to come as a complete shock to you, but according to Kevin Acee of the San Diego Union Tribune, the Seidler family has decided to explore the potential sale of the San Diego Padres.
It's big news.
Big news, obviously. We will be talking about the potential ramifications of that. This is almost 2 years to the day when Peter Seidler passed away. And of course, there have been litigation, between Shield Seidler, the Seidler family, about the future control of the San Diego Padres. I don't think it's too much of a leap to assume that, some of that has to do with the decision to explore a potential sale of the San Diego Padres. Moving forward, do we know exactly who is interested in buying the team? I'm sure there will be a number of potential interested buyers in the San Diego Padres, but we are processing this information as we speak. Kevin Acee just posted an article just moments ago with some of the details. We have not even read it yet.
I'm just opening it right now.
I first saw it in the chat. Purple, thanks for breaking the news in the chat. You are the star of the day, my friend. All right, let's see.
All right, well, you start reading. I still have to announce our biggest fan of the day. So we still have business to take care of, but we will be reacting here over the next hour, throw everything out the window, and talking about the potential sale of the San Diego Padres. Congratulations, though, our biggest fan, who is going to have 10 minutes to call us back at 833-288-0973 and qualify for a night in the suite. Yes, the Padres will continue to go on playing baseball at Petco Park. Despite this news, I don't think it's panic-inducing. 833-288-0973. Kay Lawson from San Diego and the Tier 1 stream. Kay Lawson, you are on the clock. 833-288-0973. Call back in the next 10 minutes. We'll put your name into the drawing for the 20 tickets, the night in the Odyssey Suite for a Padres game this upcoming season.
I mean, this was always kind of in the back of your mind after Peter Seidler passed away. And then with the lawsuit that came down, it was always in the back of everyone's mind in San Diego. I think, people saying, how is this going to work, right? You can't have a lawsuit that is going to, potentially splinter a franchise, right? But then John was named the owner. And, no one really knew, like, is this what he wanted? We know how Peter felt about the San Diego Padres. We know that. Very, very clear.
Yes. Unfortunately, the reality of the situation is no matter how much, and we've seen it with other teams and other cities and other owners,
sure,
it's very difficult to pass a business of this size just on to family members. No matter how much you may want it, you can go to Trust and Will you want on this one. This is a tough one to figure out for the future. And ultimately, many other families who have owned professional sports franchises, which are largely now owned by corporations, the ones that are owned by families often do end up having to sell when the primary, head of the family passes away. This is not completely out of left field or unusual.
Okay, so here we go. Per Kevin Acee's article, a preliminary value of the team, according to a source familiar with discussions regarding the sale, is estimated at $1.8 billion with a B. That price would include the assumption of about $300 million in debt, more than $150 million in paybacks to owners for 2 cash infusions made in recent years. So that price includes that. Price is ultimately whatever a buyer is willing to pay. The Rays were sold for $1.7 billion. The Baltimore Orioles sold last year for $1.73. Wow. So it's on the block, essentially, listening to offers. So I think the immediate fan reaction is, are people upset by this? Are they saddened by it? I mean, it makes me a little sad because
I think there's certainly reason to be saddened by what looks like the end of the Seidler legacy, especially Peter Seidler's legacy with the team.
But I feel like Peter's legacy will always be here. I feel like his legacy is cemented.
I mean, it's Peter Seidler way.
Peter Seidler way. Like,
that ain't changing.
Like Peter Seidler will never be forgotten with the San Diego Padres, ever. Right?
Of course.
Certainly not by me.
Of course. I mean, we still talk about, Ray Kroc, and that was, 40 years ago.
But that said, the next person, the next group, whatever it may be, they have to have the same commitment to winning as Peter did. And I think it's even fair to say it's fair to question, did the Seidler family without Peter have the same commitment to winning that Peter Seidler did? It's a high bar. He set a very high bar. So if somebody comes in that is like, I want to compete. I want to compete with, the big dogs. That could ultimately be a good thing. It's got to be the right fit, right? It's got to be the right fit for San Diego and the person with the money to do it.
I know there's going to be some fans who throw out, what if the new owner wants to move the team to, I don't know, Sacramento? I would just throw out a city.
Oh
They already have a team. Never mind.
Portland.
I don't think that really is even something anyone would consider. Petco Park is top 10 in revenue, top 3 in attendance every single year. San Diego has proven to be an unbelievable baseball market and is ripe for the expansion with what SDFC is doing and selling out their matches. San Diego is the place where people want to get to,
Sure,
not leave. So I can't imagine there'd be any consideration of anyone wanting to take the team anywhere else. They have a lease at Petco Park that still runs for many years as well. It's the premier ballpark in America. You're buying all those things. The reason you're paying, premium dollars for the Padres, 1.8 billion or whatever they're looking for, is to purchase those things. You don't give up on those things. So the new owner is going to want to be here in San Diego and is going to want to continue to put a winning product on the field that keeps fans coming through the turnstiles at Petco Park.
I'm not worried at all about relocation. I'm really not. You can call me naive or whatever. Like I that is not a concern. My only concern with the new owner is, are you ready to spend money? That's really it. Like, are you willing to spend money to compete with, the big dogs up in LA, what San Francisco is currently going to do?
That's like the only
thing I care. I really like the only thing I care about from a new ownership is great. Okay. Yeah. Fantastic. Oh, that's how you made your money. Great. How much of it are you willing to spend? How much are you willing to put back into the team? Peter spoiled it for all of us. He spoiled us. Ron did too. Ron spent money. Like, there's a progression here that as a fan, I want to make sure continues. And I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think it's fair. Wow. It's big news.
That's like shocking still to see it in print.
The Padres have just issued their statement in response to the story. I will read it for you here today. The Seidler family today announced it has decided to initiate a formal process to explore strategic options for the San Diego Padres, including a potential sale of the franchise. This decision follows months of careful consideration, consultation with trusted advisors. John Seidler, chairman of the Padres, said, quote, "The family has decided to begin a process of evaluating our future with the Padres, including a potential sale of the franchise. We will undertake this process with integrity and professionalism in a way that honors Peter's legacy and love for the Padres and lays the foundation for the franchise's long-term success. During the process, and as we prepare for the 2026 season, the Padres will continue to focus on its players, employees, fans, and community while putting every resource into winning a World Series championship. We remain fully committed to this team, its fans, and the San Diego community." That's the quote from John Seidler in the release that was just sent by the San Diego Padres. They also say they do not intend to comment further until the process has concluded, which...
until it's over.
These are generally not quick processes between, a bidding process between potential buyers, all the way through, financing and then approval by Major League Baseball and the rest of the owners. This is something that generally takes months, not days or weeks. So this will be something that we follow throughout the course of the 2026 season. You don't expect something to happen right away, like by spring training. I think that would be shockingly fast if it happened that quickly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, but you
might have identified a buyer by then. I was thinking,
but like you. What's the process on something like this take? A year?
Yeah, it could be but the start to the complete finish and transfer of control of the team could be a year.
But you know who's buying it, or who's interested. I mean, there'll be plenty of names, I'm sure, thrown out of groups and whatnot. There's probably guys scrambling right now to get a group together.
So, trying to play this all out in my head here. So, a year from now will be mid-November of 2026. We'll be 2 weeks out from a potential lockout. Does that if you're a prospective buyer of a sports team that's their league is looking at a lockout potentially, like within weeks of you taking over,
interesting timing.
Does that make it
think
easier?
I think if you can buy a baseball team, I don't think you
people
worry
with
about
that
it.
much money are looking.
That's what I'm.
20 years into the future,
Right.
not 3 months into the future. It's either good investment, not a good investment. And remember, this is also an ego investment for a lot of billionaires. It's not necessarily a path to make money. They've already made tons of money. A lot of them get into it because they want to win a championship. Yeah, Paulie, they want to have bragging rights. They want to compete against their other fellow billionaires to be able to say, yeah, I won this trophy at the end of the year. It's a very, very rich person's plaything. And that's the kind of owner, frankly, you kind of want. You want someone who comes in and wants to do it because they want to win, not because they're trying to squeeze, dollars and cents out of that business.
That's the only thing that scares me, honestly, is the only thing that scares me is, but again, like what owners have bought teams recently that have come in recently, like in the last few years, and come in and said, we're going to try to do this on the cheap. Is that a possibility that it happens? Sure. Which would be a bummer. But
the Orioles,
he just took over.
Weren't they supposed to be like the saviors though? And it's just been kind of, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Who else has been sold? The Nationals?
They didn't spend a lot of money in their first year. I don't know. I mean, I guess obviously everybody's different.
But can you keep the train rolling in the same direction?
That's the
key.
That's the key. And I'm seeing some comments in the chat, like, oh, well, a new owner will come in and trade all the big contracts. No, I think a new owner wants to win. I mean, is it possible? Sure, absolutely. But
you're not really even allowed to.
You can't.
No trade clauses carry over
to
new owners, and the contracts are the contracts.
I think look, you can look at it any way you want to. We have no information. If you said, hey, so-and-so's buying the team and he's got a buttload of money, I'm pretty excited about it. But if it's like, we're having a hard time and can't find a buyer, I think there's going to be a list of buyers and who's the right one? It's got to be a person that loves San Diego and loves the Padres and wants to come in and compete.
Well, I'm going to say that the owner probably comes from outside of San Diego.
Yeah.
Because there aren't a ton of billionaires necessarily in San Diego that are looking to buy a baseball team. One of them, Joe Tsai, who owns the I have no idea if he's at all interested. He already owns a basketball team that's pretty pricey. That would be a lot to get into. But everyone who comes to San Diego loves San Diego.
Sure.
I mean, it's not a hard place to love, and you don't have to come far to decide you want to make San Diego your home and community in the future. So, obviously, huge news that will shape the future of San Diego. I think at this moment, you think about Peter Seidler's legacy, and I liked what you said. Nothing changes his legacy going forward. And quite frankly, his legacy, unfortunately, ended when he passed away. It's been different, with the lawsuit.
Well, that's not how legacy works, but.
Well, no, I know. But I mean, if you wanted to, he wanted to continue the legacy into the future with his, his kids going forward, but that was never really happening, as you could tell between the lawsuit that was filed and everything going on, that it was never going to be exactly the way he wanted it to be going into the future. So, a lot of probably thought gone into this, and neither of us shocked by the news today.
No.
We were wondering when it might happen.
Yeah, not shocked.
But not necessarily if it was eventually going to happen.
Nope. A lot of practical questions in there too. Would everybody feel better if AJ signed an extension today? Does this preclude him from coming back? He's still got a year on his deal, so he doesn't have to talk contract until next year, right?
True.
Our deal expires the same time AJ Preller's does. We could all three be free agents together for 2-on-2 basketball team.
I would think if there's any impact on the baseball team, I believe the Padres when they say they still want to win this year. I mean, it's good for business to keep putting a winning team on the field. I would be surprised if they added any long-term commitments.
They may spend some money.
They may spend some money. I would imagine it'll be shorter-term deals.
No more 10 for 3.
Yeah, the last thing when you're trying to sell a team is add another $250 million 8-year contract. for a pitcher. So we never expected them to go after a Framber Valdez, in free agency, but I don't think those kind of deals would make a ton of sense when you're trying to sell the team. But there's plenty of pitchers out there, the ones they were probably already targeting, who are, 1 year with an option, play, an opt-out or 2-year deals, shorter term deals that would still go after what the Padres are looking for this offseason. But that's what we always kind of expected them to do anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's shocking news. It's shocking news in that it just came out. I don't know. I mean, I'm not. It's weird. I'm shocked by it, but I'm not surprised. Does that make sense? Because as soon as Peter passed away, I thought, oh man, how does this continue in that same vein? I mean, we really got spoiled by Peter Seidler and what he was willing to and wanted to do for this team. And we need to get back there. We need to get back to feeling spoiled and wanting to be in and should be in on every free agent. That's my dream. That's my pipe dream, is that's what they get back to that spot.
There will be close eyes on every move they make this offseason. Of course, there was always going to be incredibly close eyes. We're going to follow every move breathlessly throughout the offseason, as we always do. We will probably run them through a filter now as well. As how does this impact a potential sale? Does this decision have anything to do with the fact that the Padres are up for sale? That's just natural. That's going to be part of the conversation now going forward.
Do we know? I'm trying to go through some of Kevin's story here. Like, do we know, are they looking for like a full sale? Are they looking to still have, sell a majority ownership, but still have some stake?
Did not see that. Again, I need to go through. Maybe we'll take a time out here for a quick check.
The largest stake is held by the Peter Seidler Trust, of which Sheila Seidler and her 3 children are the beneficiaries. So they have the largest stake at 24%. Seidler family, including Peter's mother, siblings, and other relatives, collectively controls about 20% of the team. The remaining portion of the ownership is split between 8 to 10 other separate stakeholders.
That's people like Alfred Harpaloo from Mexico City.
So are they splitting? The 24% is separate from the 20%. So 44% of the team ownership belongs to
some sort of Seidler.
The Seidler.
I would imagine that all of the ownership is probably together in this. Now, we've seen, I believe, when the Padres were sold, when Ron Fowler was a minority owner, he became more of an owner.
Yeah.
It's possible that one of the minority owners will be interested in bidding on the team as a potential future owner as well. That's never out of the question in sales like this, where, hey, I've only owned 6% of the team, but I've got the ability to put together a group and increase that. So in that sense,
it does say there is a minority owner who owns 10%. That is in the process of selling his portion.
But I would imagine,
that 10% makes him one of the largest single stakeholders.
Right.
Most of the owners, I would imagine, are all kind of on board with the Seidlers. So that's over 50% right there, if they're all. And we haven't heard from Shield's side of this as well. Obviously, anything the Padres say comes from the siblings, John Seidler, and that side of the family. We've yet to hear about Shield's and the kids' side of the family. And I assume they will probably put out a statement through their attorneys as well at some point about their take on the sale as well.
It's like, is this good news, bad news, or just news?
Unfortunately, and nobody ever wants to say it, and it's hard to do in this business. Just gonna have to wait and see. I mean, honestly, I think you'd be foolish one way or the other to be like, oh my God, this is the greatest day for the San Diego Padres franchise, or this is the worst and we're cooked, beyond belief. I think that's the answer is going to fall somewhere in the middle. But again, until, what if they kind of like, hey, Joe Blow, who's a multi-billionaire, wants to be in baseball.
Blow Industries,
Blow Industries,
absolutely.
huge money in Blow Industries, wants to come in and take over the team. I don't know. I'm pretty excited about it. And if he's a Steve Cohen type, that's like, I'm just here to write checks and win baseball games. Who's mad at that? I'm not. But there is a flip side to that coin. There's a flip side to that coin.
And if Jeff Morad comes back and goes, hey, I got $12 and
let's make some money.
Let's see if we can make some money. I'm not going to be as happy about it.
There's the mixed reaction. And I think, honestly, I think mixed reaction is the best way to feel right now. You can feel any way you want. But
I think that if you use your logical brain, it was going to be very hard for a split Seidler family to, in perpetuity, continue to invest huge money in the team.
Yeah.
Without total agreement from Shield's side, the brother's side. Going forward, it was going to become more and more difficult to pull off what they've pulled off pretty spectacularly over the last couple of years, and that is put a winning product on the field, focus on the fans and what's going on despite everything behind the scenes. In that sense, it may end up being kind of a relief in the long run for fans to have a new owner coming in that may have some more stability into the future.
Yeah, for sure.